Hey guys, welcome to part 6 of Let's Play Daxter on the PSP. In the last episode we defeated the first proper boss of the game, the Hive Queen, and now that she's dead and... well yeah, I think she's dead. Pretty sure we killed her. We can now move on to the next mission, which is over here. So if you played Jak 2, you should instantly recognise this place. I mean, all of this Haven City section is not as big as the one in Jak 2, but it's all taken directly from Jak 2, and this is a room that is also directly taken from Jak 2. That crazy guy was here, and if you look over there, there's the portal! If you haven't played it, this won't mean anything, but this is pretty cool. They actually did a really good job of recreating this kind of area, and there's the portal again, and there we go. There's a secret. Oh dear. Oh dear. I find a secret, I get overexcited, I die. There we go. See, that's all. There we go. That's all good. Even though we're dead, we got the precursor orb, so that's a victory in my book. So yeah, so this is the portal to the next level of the game, which is called Strip Mine. Right, well let's find out what we're actually doing here, because we haven't been told. Well, this guy isn't wearing shoes, I don't think, so he probably knows the deal.
Sight for sore eyes. We were just about to hit the mother lode when these bugs showed up. There are a bunch of eco crystals out there. Bring them back if you dare.
So yeah, as he said, we just gotta go and find 8 eco crystals. Not too sure what they are. I know eco, eco is like the... what exactly is eco? It's just like the energy of this world. It always makes me think of Phazon eco, because in certain games and universes you just kind of have this plasma like stuff, and it's just like kind of energy, and the bad guy wants it and the good guys are trying to make people not use it. So my first exposure to that sort of thing was Phazon in Metroid Prime, but in Daxter it's got the same thing going on. So we got to find these eco crystals because apparently that's what we do. So we don't have to mine them. Actually no, we're not going that way first. First we're going over here. We don't have to mine them or anything. All we have to do is kill some bugs because it's Daxter. That's apparently what we do. Don't know who to... No, you're dead. You're meant to be dead. Silly. No, you're meant to be dead. Stop trying to get up. Stupid bugs. Yeah, as you can see, we don't have to mine them. They're just there. They're just kind of floating. Which, kind of begs the question why they can just do it themselves. Like, this is the mine. I'm assuming that they're mining crystals. Apparently they got them out of the ground, made them float, and was like, I've got a coffee break. I'm busy, I got a lot on my plate, I don't have time for this. But that's what we got to do. And they did a decent job actually not making them look like the ones from Crash Bandicoot. Because Crash Bandicoot was the game before, before Jak and Daxter. So when you think crystals, you're instantly going to jump to, oh yeah, Crash Bandicoot. And I don't know, when I first saw them I didn't really think of Crash Bandicoot. Like, they took purple crystals and I didn't think of Crash Bandicoot straight away. Maybe that's just on me. Maybe that's just my fault for not making that connection, because it's pretty blatant. It's definitely very blatant. I mean, look at that thing. I actually think more of Sonic Adventure 2, the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emerald pieces, I think it looks a bit more like that, but maybe that's just me. Right, so first of all we got these enemies here, which we've seen before, but with those, or with this version of them, you really want to make sure that you hit them with the bug spray before taking them out. Because as you can see, there's like a stupid number of little holes that they can pop up in, so you've got to, actually stun them. Because if you only hit them once, then they just jump right back into the hole and appear elsewhere, and then they'll shoot you in the back, and that just won't do. So you want to actually spray them. And also with these enemies right here, the flying ones, you want to spray them, because you do have attacks with this swatter that are aerial or will go upwards, but your initial attack is just that. Which, okay, with those two guys it worked out, but normally what will happen is that you just miss half the time. You just go swat and you just kind of miss, especially if they're not directly in front of you. So my advice is just to kind of use the bug spray for most of what you're going to be fighting in this level. And there we go. First death to Dark Eco. Very good. But it did spawn us right by some precursor eggs. Orbs, I mean. Oh, bloody hell. Orbs, so can't complain too much. Right, so the interesting thing about this level is that something that I think I've mentioned before, maybe mentioned in the review, is that this game really builds upon itself as you play it. And I think I've already mentioned the upgrades, and we've already seen that we can like now hover, we got this bug spray, so in terms of combat and platforming it's already built upon itself. But the thing I really like about it is that in terms of level design it builds upon itself. The very first level we played was a very basic, like almost forgettable you could say, platforming level. But this one, it's, you know, now that we got the hopper and everything, it starts to really open up a lot more. So this level's actually not linear. All the other ones we've played so far, it's been one set path. I mean, there's been some cool stuff in there. And like I said, those levels previously were building, you know, upon each other. But this one takes it one step further. This is the first level where you get a task, with that task being go around and collect all these orbs. Not orbs, there's too many collectibles, okay? I can't keep track of what's what and everything. I can't be expected to have, you know, a brain where I can remember things and relay the correct information if needs be. It's not how people work. Yeah, anyway, yeah, so we just gotta go and find these crystals. So really it's just a case of exploring the levels. But the level design is quite good because when you first play it, it feels extremely open. There feels like there's definitely a lot to it, like almost like an open world game. But when you really break it down, there's only one set path. So any, you know, if you're kind of, you have to explore to find everything. And it kind of gives this really cool illusion of being like this massive open level, which is a big open level, that's for sure. It's the biggest level so far, but really the game also just like naturally takes you to where you need to go. So in most cases all you have to do is just keep track of where you've already been, and then you just kind of follow the game's route and where it wants you to go. And I think I've messed this up. No, we can go over there. Good, cool. Yeah, so if you just kind of follow where the game wants to... Oh, didn't press circle in time. If you just follow where the game wants to take you, it will take you to the correct location. And you will find the crystals without too much trouble. Or that's my experience anyway. So I think down there, we're not actually meant to go down there. We're meant to go around here. Because there's already been split paths that we've seen. Like we've got this big revolving thing. So what we had to do is hit that switch down there to make this thing spin, and then we could come up here to actually, you know, get across. But then there was another one that we could have gone in, and in fact we do need to go in later. So once we complete this section, the game will actually then spit us out back where the other one was. It's brilliant! I actually really like it. It's such good game design. It's all that kind of subtle stuff that you don't notice, but as you play you're just like having a good time. You know, that's what kind of separates this platformer and all good platformers from mediocre ones, that they have this kind of level design where you feel like you're accomplishing something. It kind of tricks you in that sort of way, you know, but you're having fun. You know, I'm not a game designer, but I definitely respect this game in that area, and it, you know, is what made it stand out for me in its almost Metroid-like level design later in the game. Now, I can't remember if we can go on. No, we can't. If we went into that, it would hurt you, which makes sense. It's a big spinning metal thing. You don't mess with those. It's very simple. It's platforming 101. Right. Okay. So the camera kind of messes, or can mess you up in this section. I don't really like the camera because I'm pressing L and R, but I can't turn it. So we got to go up here. But you know, still can't turn the camera, it's being quite 2D, but the platform is right here. So it's actually quite hard to see where this platform is, and the fact that you can't look around. Well, you can. I'm pressing up, I'm pressing down on the D-pad, you can't even look around. So it's actually being quite strict with the 2D movement there, so I kind of find that a little off-putting, but whatever, it's a minor thing. But I like this game overall. I'm not going to complain too much. And there we go, another crystal. Boom. We already have 6 of them. Again, it's just naturally exploring, letting the game take you to where you kind of need to go. Because this level, when you first play it, you are just going to be aimlessly roaming around, but then you just naturally find them anyway. So you're just like, well, how did I do that? But whatever. Anyway. So something I haven't mentioned yet about this game in particular, in relation to the rest of the Jak and Daxter series, is that this was made by Ready at Dawn. I don't think I've mentioned this. It's been a while since the last part, but I'm pretty sure I haven't. In case you don't know who they are, they're the people making the Order 1886. So they've become a pretty big AAA company at this point, but this was like one of their first games, if not their first. I think it might have been their first. So they kind of came out of nowhere. Sony was actually taking a lot of risks with new companies when it came to the PSP games, because they were like, well, we need some cool PSP games, so we got to actually find companies to make them. So Ready at Dawn were, you know, given the chance to make it, and then they were under the supervision of Naughty Dog, although The Lost Frontier, as I believe, had a lot more supervision from Naughty Dog, because The Lost Frontier being the other PSP Jak and Daxter games. I'm going into a bit of history in case you can't tell. I was very subtle about it, but this is Jak and Daxter history that I'm just spewing out at the moment. Yeah, Naughty Dog did supervise, but I'm assuming Radiant, or not Radiant Dawn. That's a different company. Can't remember what they made. Ready at Dawn, you know, kind of made this one because Naughty Dog originally was making The Lost Frontier, but then they had to move on to other projects such as the Uncharted series because the PS3 was out, and that's why The Lost Frontier came out in 2009. You know, boring stuff, but interesting stuff to me anyway. Yeah, so Ready at Dawn made this game, and it was really good, and it kind of actually proved that they were a company worth paying attention to, even though this is... Oh dear, I died. That's not what we want to see. See, with this level being kind of a little open, the checkpoints are still quite generous. Like, they might put you in a place that doesn't make sense, but it kind of locks you more into the linear path that this level kind of has. So, yeah, pretty decent checkpointing in this level, when you could just be exploring and then, you know, whatever. Yeah, so Ready at Dawn made it, and kind of, yeah, I definitely feel like they've proved themselves with this game. I don't like the look of the Order 1886, I think it looks a bit terrible, but they proved themselves as a studio that can just put together a solid game, you know, and I don't think they actually made any other platforms after this one, which is a mighty shame. Or a complete lie, because I don't know for sure. I mean, I think they haven't made that many games of note. The biggest game of note was the Order 1886, and maybe that was just me, but when that game was announced, I was like, who's Ready at Dawn? And why are they making a massive Sony AAA title? Like, I don't know who these people even are. And I kind of looked up and was like, oh, okay, so they have made some Sony stuff before. Again, a bit like what the PSP was. I think Sony are kind of like, we have so many studios, we need them all making PS4 games because of how resource intensive it takes to make a PS4 game. So, I mean, that happens at the beginning of any system anyway. So, see, I always find it awkward getting precursor orbs using the hovering. I don't know what it is. You can seem to make an exact perfect jump, hover over, and you see, I just missed it. I don't know what's going on there. It can make it a little confusing in some of these levels where you think you're doing it wrong. Like, you think you're trying to collect the orb in the wrong way, but really what it will be is that you just kinda just didn't hit it right. And I find that quite a bit in this game, that kind of happens. So if you're trying to hover into an orb and you hover close to it, the chances are you're doing it right. You just kind of got to give it a few more goes and a bit more determination, and eventually you will get the orb. Like I did there. A nice happy story. Me trying to get an orb, and then I did. Brilliant. Right, so I didn't show this off actually, but this level has 50 precursor orbs and 30 bug gems, or golden bug gems. So we already have 28 of those. So as you can tell, we're pretty much done with this level already. I feel like I've only been playing this for like 5 minutes. It's odd. Once you kind of know a level. It always seems to go a bit quicker. So yeah, so we started off in this area up here, or we came up here, and then we went that way, and then we went all the way around, looped all the way back, and then came out of that one, which was shut. Again, Metroid style. So the last area that we have to go to is just over here. All you got to do is kind of hover. But I think that's it for all the enemies. I think we just missed 2. With those enemies that kind of pop out the ground, it's very easy to miss enemies in this level. And with the precursor orbs, I think I just missed one of the locations where they're hidden. But as you can see, look! Now we're right at the beginning. Perfect.
Beautiful crystals! You have no idea how much those Haven City suckers are paying for this stuff. Off you go then.
Oh, he was just in it for the money. I mean, I can't judge him. Daxter's always in it for the money. I understand it. Why else would you be a miner if you didn't love money? It's a dangerous job that he didn't do. I mean, I would guess that he's more in it for this sexual thrill of crystals. But anyway, I'm not one to judge. We did our good deed for the day. Killed some bugs, got some crystals and whatnot.
Looks like you've got another date with Betsy. Don't worry, I had her fixed up. Now you need to go finish the job in Breezy Valley.
Cool. So apparently she knows the other guy, the guy with the beard, Osmo, and then went into Osmo's place and then secretly fixed up Betsy. So next time in Let's Play Daxter, we can do another level in Breezy I want to say Breezy Valley because of Banjo-Kazooie, but yeah, so we're going to go back to Breezy Valley. So I've been Armstrong23. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time for more Daxter.